Hi guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution Tarot, and I'm here today to bring you a message for the sign of Taurus for October 2021. Keep in mind, my friends, it's a general message. Take what you feel resonates for you and disregard the rest. But know that no matter what messages do come for you today, if they resonate, it's still up to you and your active free will. The choices you make and the steps you put forward to get your fulfillment, to me, that's personal power, it's personal freedom, and something only you can do, because this lies at the tips of your fingers, at the soles of your feet. So use that wisely, my friends. I am doing this on the 28th of October. I apologize, guys, that yours is last. However, I do feel like what I'm getting from Spirit is this message is much more direct. Like Spirit's like the veil is thinning right now, and whatever messages right now, I heard ancestors as well. Some of your ancestors may be joining us. So just take it how you feel it resonates. If it doesn't, let it go, my friends. Don't try and hold on to it and create a story that does not exist. And know that this also could be not necessarily something that's happening right now, okay? I heard time sensitive, but time is fluid. So we may be picking up on a situation from the past, a past life, something you're dealing with now, or something that's not quite happened yet or not quite come into your energy field. So take it how it resonates. I'm going to start out today, before I get into the tarot, I'm going to start out with the messages from Life Oracle. So we're going to call in Spirit. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective to join us, to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it as well, to give me messages for the highest good of the entire collecting, but the most farthest of reaching for you guys as well. So let's see what messages we have from Spirit. What is for Taurus? What's some spiritual advice to focus on this month? We're going forward. What is the message you would like to come through at this time? And the message they would like to come through is, I grow. It says, I grow through the recognition of the divine within me. I respect my needs, observe what happens within, and do my best to maintain a positive attitude at all times. I have faith in my inner strengths and capabilities. I grow every day. What is important to me is not what is important, what others think, but what God thinks of me. I'm like tongue-tied with you guys right now, spirits. Like, okay, what else? Messages, please. What else you have? What other messages would you have for Taurus? They keep showing me back to, you have to have faith in your inner strengths and capabilities. You have to have faith in yourself and your ability to grow through what you go through. Because if we are to stay stuck and stagnant, if we go through some energy, what I'm hearing is like, high school, if we keep that mentality all the way through, we grow from high school. We've got a lot more life experiences, right? So a lot of times that idealistic child or that teenager that we were, with our views have changed because we're coming from, I heard, more enlightened, but an older, wiser, more experienced self. So it's really important to have faith in your ability to grow past whatever changes are happening right now. You may feel like, what I heard is you're outgrowing your britches, okay? And this doesn't necessarily mean we're putting on weight, although for some of you it could. But what I do feel like this more means is, it's time to put on those big girl or big boy, big person pants. And say, you know what, I got this. Along my journey, I know there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be ebbs and flows of the tide, and I just got to roll with it. And I heard you also trying to remain fluid. So the other card that came out here was welcoming happiness. Divine love manifesting in me, through me, and around me attracts all that I need for the greatest benefit of my soul. As I work to increase my inner light, I become the emanation of love and joy. Thus I reap the happiness and beauty that I have sown. And I think that this is a really wonderful card because, such as here with this rose, where she grows and she's going to have faith and trust in her own abilities and capabilities of accomplishing her goals, this also says, you know what, though, it's time to welcome happiness. And what I heard is, I charge you. But this is with a mission, okay? So I charge you with a mission. This is coming from Spirit, to accept yourself fully and wholly and completely as you are. Right here, right now, in this moment. So for some of us, those pants, when they said that we're outgrowing our britches, this may be a truth. But does it mean we should love ourselves less? Absolutely not. That number on the scale or the size of your pants, that does not define our worth. Now, a lot of things I'm hearing is, however, especially if we struggled with weight for a long time and that's the issue that's at hand, we may feel really defeated because we know that there's such a huge road ahead of us. But much like this is one step at a time. What did you grow from this time? If you're not feeling happy and you're not feeling good in your own skin, what do you need to do to remedy that situation? Could be go for a walk. It could be, join an exercise class. I subscribe to Beachbody. I absolutely love them, but there's a lot of different at-home things that you can do. And hey man, even YouTube, it's free. Search up some things that you might have fun doing if movement is something that happens, okay? If that part resonated with you. But I think this is more than just that. And this is really asking for you to see beyond superficial beauty, to see beyond superficial beauty of others, but especially yourself, to not feel so compelled to adhere to societal standards as well of what this idea of beauty has been cast, is what I heard, or cast out. Redefining beauty and what it means to you and finding the beauty within your heart. So growing through what you go through and knowing that this divine love, it is yours for the having, it is yours for the keeping. And they're bringing me back here to, I become the emanation of joy and love. And that divine love manifesting through me and in me attracts all that I need for the greatest benefit of my soul. So I think this is really important when we talk about this divine love as well. Divine love doesn't care what we look like, if we're ugly, if we're pretty, if we're somewhere in between. Doesn't care if we're really short or really tall, if we have a few pounds that we could lose, or if, we could gain a few. Spirit doesn't care. They love us all the same. And this is really important for ourselves. And I heard is our own spiritual well-being, to just love ourselves wholly and completely again, without putting restrictions on what it can mean. So, for example, if, I'll use my own example, but I've worked really hard to lose just under 20 pounds in the last, I'd say, 6 months. And it's not easy. What has to happen from this as well is that if something were to happen that those 20 pounds came back on, can I hate myself? No. Did I hate myself then? No. I feel a whole lot better and a whole lot more comfortable in my skin and a whole lot healthier. But I'm still the same me, right? And there's still the same worthiness. That was a fly crawling over my camera. But I think it's really important just to honor and love yourself as you are, okay? So enough with that. I want me to show you the bottom of the deck, which is consciousness. Well, I grabbed two, so obviously I have to show you. Consciousness and I appreciate. I am conscious of each thought and feeling that I manifest. Are those energies constructive or destructive? As my inner consciousness is reflected in my surroundings, I overcome my inferior emotions and negative thoughts to leave room for only those that are pure. I am mindful of what I create in this universe. In this way, I become an expression of divine light. And I think this is going back even just to how we feel about ourselves, the narratives that we feed ourselves. So coming back to the weight struggle analogy that I've been given here for this reading is more like, if we look in the mirror and we tell ourselves that we're fat, that we're ugly, and that we're worthless, we're absolutely going to feel that way. If we look in that mirror and we say, you are beautiful, you are gorgeous, and girl, you are loved. Boy, you are loved. We're going to feel a whole lot better. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you just as you are, exactly as you are. In this moment, I will love you in all forms that you take throughout all lifetimes you'll have on this earth and other lifetimes on other planets. You're going to love yourself regardless of the form. And that's really important in terms of our consciousness, just being mindful again of how are we talking about others? We're putting that energy out into the world as well. How are we carrying ourselves spiritually as well, is one of the things I'm hearing. So I appreciate. I stop clinging to my misfortunes, troubles, and worries. I cease to be dissatisfied and I stop focusing on what I do not currently have. Instead, I direct my thoughts towards what is powerful in my life. With all my heart, I appreciate all I have. I accept and appreciate what is, as it is. I express my loving thoughts to the universe for the wealth that is mine. And I think that this is really wonderful because I think it's what I heard is it's marking a hallmark, but it's marking a waypoint as well, that we're no longer who we've been. We're not yet who we're going to be. We're in this in-between stage and we're still growing. We're still learning, and that step of the way, that step on our ascension process, it's never going to end. We are on a never-ending stairway, my friends, and climbing and reaching for higher ascension. And I heard also here higher motivation for some of you, really just needing to get out of a slump and to get moving. Now, if it does have to do with, I heard, like, again, exercise keeps coming back, but if you're needing motivation as well, as what I heard is a support group. So I'll come back to Beachbody because that's what I know, that's what I love, but there's a lot about accountability and support with other people doing just what you're doing. And you know, it's really, really nice to have an accountability partner. So regardless of whether that Beachbody is something you want, find a friend, find a loved one that may be willing to help you stick to your goals. Find an ally, so to speak, that you can say, hey, I accomplished my goals today. And then be like, hey, good, as an accountability partner, because there may be your friends or your family too that have goals, but they have trouble sticking to what they want to happen. So why not ask them, hey, I can be your accountability partner too. Being really conscious of the world that we create, because this is also creating a loving and supportive environment for you towards your goals, but also for your friend or your partners who are going to be able to help you in this way. They brought me back to, again, this part that divine love manifesting in me and through me and around me attracts all I need for the greatest benefit of my soul. So also I'm hearing like you're going to have soul contracts come into your world who are meant to teach you lessons, but there are also some here, what I heard is that are going to help you open up your joy, or receptors is what I also heard, but help you live more in joy, and to help you put the past behind you is what I heard, to help you put your troubles behind you as well. So I appreciate here that, again, I stopped clinging to my misfortunes and my troubles and my worries, because what I'm hearing right now too is, there's a saying, I'm not sure who said it, but if something is out of our control, if it's out of our hands, it needs to be out of our mind too. It needs to be out of our worry space, because if we cannot do anything about it, worrying us it's taking years off your life is what I heard. So pay attention. What I heard is to the signs that you're given as well, but appreciate everything, all the lessons in this world. Sometimes what I heard is we grow in darkness. They're playing The Rose, and they remind me of The Rose, but also I think it's Bette Midler, The Rose, that in the winter, far beneath the fallen snow. I'm not sure of the rest, but my mom used to sing it to me as a bedtime story. But there is a really important significance of this rose as well. And they're reminding me as well of the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light Oracle. There is the ever unfolding rose, because we're on this journey. This is a journey of life. So we're growing through it, becoming much more conscious of our thoughts and the power our thoughts hold, the power our words hold, and the power we have of intention, welcoming in happiness, loving you right here, right now, and being whole in this present moment. Spirit's all about that. So I have the Dragon Tarot here, and let's see what messages we have for Taurus. Please, Spirit, some tarot wisdom for October 2021, moving into November. So before I show you what fell in there, the bottom, they're showing me show you the bottom of the deck. And the bottom of the deck here is the Ace of Wands in the reverse. There's the Hanged Man in the reverse as well here as well. So while I was pre-shuffling, the Six of Swords and the Three of Cups in the reverse came out. And right away I got, we aren't going to find happiness until we move past something, right? There's something that needs to be moved past. And I implore you to remember the I grow, right? I grow through what I go through, that you're able to maintain a positive attitude no matter what is happening, because this comes from a place of radical acceptance that, again, if we can't change the outcome or we can't control the situation, we need to allow it to release the hold and control it has in our minds. So you have the Eight of Swords, releasing the hold and control that something has in your mind. This cyclical thinking as well, because again, I think many of us have been guilty of self-defamation, I think is what I'm hearing, but I'm not sure if that's the word. Not like defecating, but like defamation, like talking bad about ourselves. So the example I keep getting again is like earlier, if we look in the mirror and we say, you know, I'm fat and I'm ugly, or I'm too short, and all of those kinds of things, we're really just putting ourselves down. For some of you, I heard this is a protection method, because other people may do that. So if you're going to put yourself down first, it doesn't feel so shitty when they do it because you're already used to that. But that's the problem I think here is as well. What I heard is that's a trauma response, that we would rather put ourselves down because we don't want to feel special, or we don't want to, what's the word I'm thinking of, place too much importance on ourselves. Some of this could have come from childhood as well, as what I heard of. If you had especially like a narcissistic grandma, mother figure is definitely what I'm picking up on here. But someone who told you to be less than, to be less shiny because they couldn't handle your shine, or they were jealous of your shine. Somebody could have told you you're too much as well. And what I say is F that shit. Be you. If someone else has told you you're not good enough and you've just started to internalize that narrative, this is the place where I feel like it's really important. Break free of those shackles, get some friggin' bolt cutters, my friends, and cut those goddamn chains. Sorry for the language, but that's what I heard. Whoever's guide is coming through here, if there's something that's kept you chained to an old way of thinking, cut those chains. Get rid of them, because they're not doing you any good. You have here the Six of Pentacles as well with balance. We get the Knight of Pentacles, moving towards something much more balanced. What I heard is you could also be, something could be coming around from the past with the Six of Pentacles. This could also, what I heard is be revisiting a lesson from the past. This could be revisiting an idea that we've always thought. Again, this could be right down to that, you know, idea that if we put ourselves down first, it won't hurt when other people put us down, or like using epithets and things like that to describe ourselves. And this is where it's not helpful for you. It's not good for your psyche. It's not good for your body. And I want to also remind you, any of you guys who have kids, your kids are listening. They listen to how you talk to yourself. And we wouldn't want our kids to grow up feeling less than, or having self-esteem issues. So I think it's really important as well to love ourselves. I know in my own world, right, things that my mom or my grandma and so on and so forth, they didn't like about themselves, right? It normalizes talking bad about ourselves. And then as children, we're internalizing this too, that, well, if my belly's too big, then I'm not worthy. Or if my belly's too big, I'm not pretty. Or if I weigh too much, that's a problem. And these are really, really harmful ideas. And some of this stuff is really instilled as children. And what I'm hearing too is even stuff down to like, really personal story, I guess. But the first time I ever really felt fat, I was like 12, 13 years old. And I had a body, man, sorry guys, but I had big boobs in grade 8, and I had a body that was probably much older looking than my actual age at 12 or 13. And my grandmother at this time, you know, really made a comment about my weight, about my belly, and honestly, it's been one of the biggest insecurities I've had my entire life. And what's been really wonderful, and I would say even in the past 5-6 months, has been the ability for me to drop that insecurity about my belly, because it's part of me, you know, and I'm really, really thankful for my belly. It helped me bring 3 beautiful boys into this world. But I had a belly before I even had kids. And I think that this is these things where, again, we get stuck in these thought loops because, for example, if we've always had a belly, and this again is not about me, but I'm going to use and roll with this example. If we've always had a belly, we might get to this point where we feel distraught. We feel like, well, how the heck am I going to get rid of it? What am I going to do? Because everything I try fails. And we get in this like self-sabotaging mode where then we're not getting the results right away. So we scrap whatever we were doing and go back to whatever it is that's going to actually potentially add more weight to us and then make us feel hella shitty because we didn't stick to our goals and now we're farther in than we thought we were before. So I hope that analogy works. This could be for so many different things, but I think that this is really important to grow from the past experiences, because if we come from a place now of love for ourselves and self-love rather than self-loathing and self-hate and comparison, because comparison is the devil, my friends. It does not do anything for you but rob you and steal you of your joy, especially when it comes to other people's bodies, other people's possessions, or what they have, because we all have different talents, we all have different genetic makeup, and some of us unfortunately are going to be predestined to have the belly. My grandmothers, my grandma and my great-grandmother both had a belly roll, and I'm sure they didn't like it growing up and all through the time I was growing up, but you know what? I loved the heck out of them. I still love them. And this is where it doesn't make them any less worthy. So I feel like just remember as well that for some things, genetics play a big part in it, but so does our mindset. So for example, if your belly has been an issue, I feel like this is also stuff that we're holding on to at our solar plexus. We're literally holding a lot of weight in that solar plexus, in that understanding of self-worth. And it was really drawn to wear yellow for you guys today. So I think that some yellow, wear yellow, stand out. For some of you, you may have wanted to have been a wallflower growing up, or even, this definitely, I keep feeling growing up, but this is pushing past your comfort zone right now, maybe making yourself be more extroverted if you feel like you're more introverted. And this is doing it, and I feel like in a way that's really understanding for your own power and doing it for you, not where in the past you may have done things for peer pressure because, again, we may have been an older or a younger self, and now we're getting a little bit older and more wise, and we realize, you know what, I don't care if they peer pressure me, that shit's not cool, I think there's a real feeling too, I heard, an importance of, well, if the people around you are going to treat you bad or peer pressure you, you don't need to be around them, you can be on your own, because that's a whole lot more fun than dealing with a-holes. So you have Justice that is here, the Moon, I love this card. You have the Queen of Swords. Now this card was in the reverse. You have Judgment. So that's Justice and Judgment. And that is, so far, 3 major arcanas of truths revealed. For me, this also feels like epiphanies. Of understanding, that, again, I heard even right down to childhood bullies, because if we've been called names or been made to feel less than growing up, or, even now, there may be kind of what I heard is undercover haters or people in your world that like to make you feel like shit or just bring things up like, oh, I'm not trying to upset you, this kind of thing, but you really should consider this, and they always have something to say that hurts your feelings. What I'm hearing is say, you know what, speak up, because sometimes they don't know, coming back to this, my grandma used to always say, well, honey, I don't care about your size, I worry about your knees, and my knees, they weren't great growing up, but it didn't have to do with my weight, it was different, my kneecap moves, right, and it's an under strengthening of certain muscles, but this is where, yes, as we get older, things like this can really affect our knees. It can really give us mobility issues. So what I heard is also preventative care. If there are things where you feel like, you just don't feel really good, you're lacking a little bit of energy, and I heard depression as well, movement can really help us exercising. And you know what's funny, because oftentimes we think, you know what, I'm so tired, you don't have the energy to do this. Funny though, if you push yourself and you do it, you got all the energy in the world afterwards. It's all about our mindset and the vocabulary we use for it. So for example, we could say, you know, that you don't want to work out because it's too hard, or you could say, I'm so thankful that I can. Because I'm sure we all know someone or many people who have lost their mobility, and if we still have it, this is something to be super thankful for. And if we have lost our mobility, to remember that that doesn't make us less than either. It just makes our world different, and there's new challenges that we need to work through for us to level up. So with this Queen of Swords, with that Eight of Swords, I feel like you have the Ten of Wands and the Devil here as well. This is putting down a bunch of toxicity that has been really bad, and I heard it's felt like shit. Okay? So to come back into balance, to put down the stuff that hurt us, with this Ace of Wands too, and this Hangman in reverse, the Hermit was underneath this as well. But I feel like there could be a lot of things that you're thinking about. They're bringing me back to Beachbody with the Hermit, because these are at-home workouts. For some of you, if the weight and the wanting to feel better has resonated with you, because Spirit was real strong on that one, you know, some of us may feel like we don't want to go to a big gym because it's intimidating, and all those people who may have made us feel less than, now there's all these beautiful, pretty people going to the gym. And I think this is where you really need to change that mindset. And, you know, anybody who's there, if they are putting you down or anything like that, like, that's them. That is their character, and these are projections, okay? Especially when we have especially when we get like that shade or hate thrown on us. So I feel like it's really important to weigh out what I heard as the examples, but weigh out your options, to weigh out, you know, when someone says something, is there truth in this? Or is this just a negative thing that they're saying? And I feel like as well, when you're talking to yourself or about yourself, notice how your body reacts to what you say. So I'm sure if we look in the mirror and we say, I'm fat, I'm ugly, man, that hurts my soul a little bit. You say, I'm beautiful and I'm loved and I'm worthy. It makes my soul flutter. So try these positive affirmations. Whatever is going on, again, like, this doesn't have to be weight. This could be a lot of different things. This could be something you've struggled with a long time, codependent thoughts. I heard impulse control as well. There's a lot of thinking happening here before some sort of new start can happen. And this is where I thought about exercise, because this is that fire. This is that movement in our body, where it's like, you know what, something's been really hard, but you have the power to make it better. Again, it takes changing in our thoughts and going after our goals step by step with determination and with perseverance. And what I also heard is too, like, going back, I keep bringing me back to the exercise and weight loss, but it's like, if you need to take a break, but don't quit, because that's where this I grow stuff has happened. I also feel like, you know, another personal example they're making me bring up, and is, you know, years ago, I got to a point where I had lost some weight and my body was changing, and I saw my belly. And I was so upset because I put new pants on and all this stuff, and I changed my body. My body was, you know, looking a whole lot better, feeling a whole lot better, and here was a silly belly roll. And what did I do? I went right back to eating whatever the hell I wanted, not working out, and just allowing myself to wallow for a little bit. And you know what? It was an important growing experience. It was a really big part of the dark night of my soul, and learning and really coming to appreciate who I am in this moment, and that, again, that my worth isn't surrounded by what my belly looks like. Your worth is not surrounded what your belly looks like, you know. And I think that this is what they're telling me, is in a world full of flat stomachs and airbrush. It's nice now we live in a more size tolerant place. Just a second, guys. Okay, I'm back, guys. So what I mean by size tolerant is we have, you know, Old Navy and things like that that are offering the larger sizes of pants and not having to go to different stores to be able to find clothing. So not feeling so excluded. And this is where I mean, like, we're actually finding a lot more celebrities as well when they're doing their photo shoots asking not to be photoshopped, because that stuff's really damaging to people, feeling like, oh, well, all of these people with these flat stomachs and no stretch marks. Well, the thing is, they're not actually like that. And they probably got black bags and zits, but they airbrushed that shit. So nothing is how it seems, and perfection does not exist, okay? So before I leave you today, we have a few messages that came out from the Self-Care Oracle, Sacred Self-Care Oracle. Hydrate. You are a houseplant, my friends. Basically, get your ass some water, get some sunlight. This could also be, take a bath, have a shower, go swimming, but make sure your body's fully hydrated, because sometimes if we lack energy or we feel sleepy and we feel tired, we're probably thirsty, and we might grab a cup of coffee thinking, oh, this caffeine's going to help, but it dehydrates us more, so make sure you get your good water in, okay? Health checkup is here as well for some of you. This is definitely making sure that if you're feeling like things are not quite right, really trust your body. Get to the doctor. And also what I'm hearing as well is food. To change your food patterns, as well as to make sure that you are eating well balanced. And I heard protein balanced food as well. So for some of you, there may be sugar issues or something that needs to be addressed. For some of you as well, it's what I heard, like this could be weight. This could be we need to talk to the doctor, because if we're thinking about starting a weight loss program, or if we're thinking of, starting to work out, for some of us there may be heart issues as well, as what I heard, that we want to make sure our heart's strong enough to do this. But even just taking a walk and strengthening that heart every day can really benefit us. So there's one more card that flew out, and it is dance. And I love that. So I'm going to read to you guys before I let you go. This one's been a long one, and I opened up to movement. But number 18, dance. The mantra is, I feel empowered to express myself through movement, embracing my unique dance style. And the journal prompt, do you feel comfortable dancing? If yes, what style of dance makes you feel the most radiant and best expresses you? If no, why do you feel uncomfortable, and what do you think could help you work through this discomfort? And I think this is really important too, because a lot of us feel embarrassed, and again, it's because judgment. What if someone makes fun of us? Well, those people, if they're not dancing, they're not expressing the joy. This could be, again, we're heard, in the comfort of your own home. Dance around in your kitchen, your living room, wherever space you have. One last plug, because I absolutely love my program. It's called Let's Get Up. It's by Shaun T, and it is fun. So for some of you, if exercise seems like you don't want to do it, do something fun. Dance. Switch it up. So that's the message I have. I do hope it resonates. I love you all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.